welcome to Miss Music. On this channel I'm looking at music that may have passed you by, or music that you just may never have heard of. Now, I did a video on Sugar and my favourite Sugar album, Beaster, which is just brilliant. So if you haven't heard that, check it out. But I haven't done anything on Bob Mould, and Bob Mould is just so brilliant. I don't know why I haven't done a video on him. So if you haven't heard of Bob Mould, which album would you begin with, I think, to get into Bob Mould? I'm going to be looking at District Line. I'm not sure if it's the album you use to get into Bob Mould, but I do think it's the album that draws together a lot of his different styles and does that really effectively. So you get the punk influences, you get those brilliant Bob Mould acoustic tracks, and you also get a bit of that weird electronic phase he went through, using electronic music and tape loops and auto-tune. And that's kind of interesting because some of those albums I think didn't work very well, but it works nicely on this album. Oh, and of course you get that brilliant Bob Mould compressed, distorted guitar, which I really love so much. If you're a fan of Bob Mould, I don't think this would rank as probably one of your top albums, but I don't know, let me know. But recently I just completely fell in love with this album. So reason number one for listening to Bob Mould, and this may be a strange reason, but the guy just always to me seems so angry, and this pervades quite a lot of his songs, and a lot of his music is about failing relationships and betrayal. I hope in real life Bob Mould is just this really happy guy, and this is a way of channeling different emotions. But some of the songs are pretty dark. It did take me a long time to get into this album. I've kind of had it there. I think I've played it once or twice and then forgotten about it. But recently I spent quite a lot of time in New York and I played it all the time. So whenever I was out, it was on. And it's become really associated with that city, even though I think it was recorded in Washington. I may be wrong. And District Line surely is a reference to the District Line here in London, which I take regularly. It's a line near my flat. So for me, the album is kind of now entangled with my time in New York. But if you've listened to this album and kind of dismissed it, do listen to it again and again and again, because it will reward you, I guarantee that. And this track, Who Needs Dreams, I think is just such a brilliant alternative rock track, if you like. Have a listen to this.
You plead with yourself, but he's leading you on. It's the same thing every time. Every time I am determined not to fall into that trap again. It's the things I need for myself, and not a way to validate. Some great statue that never moves or goes on dates, and chasing the one who's running away while being chased by the one you don't want. It's the race to be whole, and it's always unfair. It'll break your heart for a while, break your heart for a while. The passion, hoping, wanting is what drove you to be what you are today.
So Bob Mould is one of these musicians I think a lot of people haven't heard of, but he's had this enormous impact on music. So when you look at bands like the Pixies and Nirvana and the Foo Fighters, these are all bands that have been influenced by Bob Mould. So he does deserve a listen. So reason number 2 I think you should have a listen to this album is because it is the album where, as I said earlier, he does manage, I think, to meld together the electronic experimental style of some of his earlier albums which I don't seem to be able to locate anymore. Maybe they've been wiped from existence. I remember listening to them and them not being great but being interesting, and I think artists should have that leeway to experiment and release stuff that is challenging, because eventually it does filter. The stuff that doesn't work gets filtered out and you're left with the good stuff. That's what you get on this album, the good stuff from that experimental phase melded together with this kind of intense rock music. And you can hear this in the next track, Miniature Parade, which is a really great song.
I say to you, secrets that I hold so dear. I'm putting all my emotions on display. What I say to you, well maybe it's that time of year. Would you like to see my miniature parade? What I say to you, I thought about those broken hearted crazy years and I hope that they're gone. What I say to you, I've always stayed between your loving arms and mine. Why'd you have to tear me up? Didn't I seem sad enough? I can play the clown for you. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Sun is falling down like rain. The clouds are mixed with velvet pain. Miniature parade I bring to you. Try to see the reason I get mixed up when I open up my hopes and fears and wants and needs to you.
So reason number 3 for listening to Bob Mould, as I said, his songs are angry. You can't listen to Beaster without not feeling. It's just someone so angry with an element of their life, screaming out with this wall of amazing sound behind them. But Bob Mould also writes these incredibly moving and touching acoustic songs, and they are really worth a listen to. They're often very personal, very self-reflective, slightly mournful songs. And in this next track, again and again, I always feel like I'm intruding into a part of Bob Mould's life. He's got this ability to be very open and confessional and honest, and the rawness of his pain often shines through in his music. Take a listen to this.
It began sometime last week, the feeling that most everything was changing for the worse. All the triggers pulled at once, so begins my ugly fall from grace again. I made myself delusional, the noble stab at staying upbeat. It was only for a while. I tried my best to radiate through hurricanes and double eights. The pair split into two. Points of my on high, watch me walk the ledge. I am comfortable out here by myself, and you could never reach me here. Words distorted in the wind, landed softly there beneath the trees. Our trip to California, don't say I didn't try to warn you. Put down the cell phone and try to be with me. Did you see me disappear like vapor rolling through the hills, and then the silence of your name? I never found the trust I needed from you. Everything you did was making me wonder. My biggest mistake was taking you back again and again. Couldn't forgive the things that you did. I'm glad it worked out for you, but you're only fooling yourself if you think you won't do it again and again. Yeah. Attempted happiness, the sadness of reality. I'm okay, I've been okay, I stay okay. I took the bullets from the cardboard, tossed them in my backpack, placed a set of keys inside the grill. I left the title to the house inside the piano bench, and my lawyer's got the will. Oh, I never found the trust I needed from you. Everything you did was making me wonder. My biggest mistake was taking you back again and again. I couldn't forgive the things that you did. I'm glad it worked out for you, but you're only fooling yourself if you think you won't do it again and again. Ooh. My biggest mistake was taking you back again and again. I couldn't forgive the things that you did. Glad it worked out for you, but you're fooling yourself if you think you won't do it again and again.
Bob Mould is great. There's no denying that. One of the things that's really amazed me is that now in his, I think, 60s, his last few albums are just amazing. I mean, they are so full of power and energy. They are really great, and I'll have to do a video on one of the new releases. Thanks for listening to this. If you like the channel, please do subscribe. If you have any suggestions of music that, you know, you love but maybe no one else has really gotten into, please let me know.